welcome to Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. I would like to welcome you for now into our living room before we head to the kitchen and get busy cooking. On this beautiful evening, I am fixing to make a delicious Cherokee Grape Dumpling recipe. Now, this recipe was documented, written down back in 1835. I am doing this recipe to keep the old ways and the old recipes alive. This is November 1st. Not many know that November is dedicated. I celebrate it every single day, but November is Native American History Month. Yes, Native American History Month. Every November, it's been going on since I was a child. And of course, I'll have a year when it was started and who signed it in. It's not like they're going to teach much about the truth behind Native American history because, they don't want the truth to be known. And I also thankful for whoever owl bought it. I have my official National Native American Heritage Month t-shirt on. I give thanks daily for my ancestors that walked before me, because if they wouldn't have, I wouldn't be here. And I am thankful. I am not ashamed, not one bit, to be Native American. And no one should ever be ashamed of being Native American. Now, back in the day, being Native American could get you killed faster than anything. So, a lot of people went into hiding, and that's why a lot of people, your ancestors, refused to admit anything, because it was beat into them verbally and physically not to admit that you're Native American, because you were lower than low trash to many of the higher ups if you had any native blood in you. But with that being said, now this recipe dates back to 1835. I was blessed with doing a lot of research and dug this recipe up. Now, I already have a Cherokee grape dumpling recipe where the dumplings actually, are dumplings. They hold together. This recipe, the lady didn't like big dumplings, according to the description and everything. They, of course, didn't give her name, so I have no clue who to credit, what ancestor to credit this recipe to. But she liked little bitty, like pea-sized dumplings. No clue, no clue. But I know that it's one of the first recorded ones of where wheat flour was used to make dumplings. Of course, now there's no telling how long before that they'd been being made, but in the beginning, it was cornmeal or acorn flour, which, yeah, that video's coming eventually. And of course, they had muscadines, which are native to this area. Also, they had fox grapes and possum grapes, which are both very good. And now my spin on this recipe, I have kept it exactly like what was wrote down. I just added grape halves into this recipe because I had them and I needed to get them used up. So, with this being said, let's kick off Native American History Month, and let's celebrate throughout the month, y'all, and pay homage to your ancestors and be proud of where you come from. All right, let's head to the kitchen and let's get busy. Welcome into the kitchen. This is a very simple and very old historic Cherokee recipe. And as I said in the beginning of the video, anybody can make this. There's multitudes of ways to make it. I've even seen it made with strawberries. Yes, strawberries, y'all. Okay, now I have, and of course, all the ingredient list will be in the description box below the video. Okay, in my pot here, I have 3.5 cups of unsweetened grape juice. It is fairly sweet on its own, because grapes usually are, and there's a 1/2 cup of cane sugar in here. I'm going to go on and get it started to heating up. I've got it about on medium. I'm going to keep my eye on that. Now, in the bowl here, we have 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And in here we have extra to flour the board. Oh, also, going into the pot, you can use fresh grapes. So I was blessed with these grapes. I have 1.5 cups of the grapes, and try not to make a mess like I did. Now, traditionally, like I said earlier, you can use possum grapes, wild fox grapes, muscadines, or these are probably Concord grapes. Alright, in the bowl, I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour and 1 tablespoon of sugar. To that, I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, because you don't want them to be too fluffy, because then they'll fall apart. And just a little bit of salt, not a whole lot. Maybe 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon. Mix that up really good. Now to the flour, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of room temperature butter. Save your wrapper. You can use that to butter baking dishes, and so with it, just stick it in a Ziploc bag and store it in your fridge or freezer, whichever one. And you want to cut in the butter into the flour very well. And of course, you can cook your grape dumplings on your stove top. It's just easier for me to do it this way, so I don't have to lug the camera all around. Now to this, I'm going to want to have 1/2 cup of the grape juice. And like I said, they're traditionally used to be made with fox grapes or possum grapes, or if they grew around them, muscadine grapes. want to make sure everything is combined very well. It's going to be a moist dough, so you're definitely going to want to flour your countertop, your table, or your cutting board. Not a whole lot, but just enough. You don't want to work it too awful much, but just enough until it comes together. And it's such a beautiful dough. Now, if you want to, you could use a rolling pin to roll out the dumplings, or traditionally, they were just hand patted out. And you want to make sure that you stir your juice very well every so often, because you do not want the sugar that you added to the juice to scorch on the bottom of your pan. Now we're just going to cut the dumplings out. I'm going to reserve those to show y'all another way that you can do it. And I'm going to tell y'all now, this is a dessert dumpling, because they are sweet. Not over sweet, but they are sweet. And I like to dust them with just a little bit of flour, because that's going to help thicken up the grape juice. Now, I'll show you another way if you don't want to pat them out. You work your dough, you pinch off little balls. It depends on the lady who made the dumplings, if she patted them out or done them by hand. You can square them up, or they can be round, whichever way you would like for them to be, but you don't want them too thick or they won't cook all the way through. See, you can make them flat rounds. You don't want them paper thin, but you don't want them too thick. Just like Baby Bear, just right. Alright, I'm going to wait for my grape juice to come up to simmer, and I will bring y'all right back. Okay, the juice has came up to a simmer. Do not let it go above a simmer if possible. You might want to have to back down your heat like I did, and you're going to just gently drop your dumplings in to the grape juice. Now each time I make Cherokee Grape Dumplings, I change the recipe up a little bit. It depends on what I have to work with. I'm waiting for spring because I'm going to use strawberries. I want to make a strawberry one. And you're just going to keep gently adding your dumplings. And you want to be gentle with them because you don't want them to fall apart. And you just want them to gently simmer. Alright, I'm going to bring these up to simmer and I'll bring you back. You want to cook them for about 12 to 15 minutes. Don't worry if they happen to fall apart and make smaller dumplings. It's still perfectly fine, y'all. Alright, I'll see you back here once these are done. And you're going to want to gently stir them. Make sure that none are sticking to the bottom of your pan. Oh, let me tell you, this is delicious smelling. I wish I had smell-o-vision. Ooh, all right, see y'all back here in a bit. Okay, it is cooked. Now, do not worry, most of your dumplings will fall apart. This is the way they like to eat it. This is a different recipe than the one that I originally made a year or two ago. But your dumplings, some of them will hold together, but most of them will fall apart to make little baby dumplings. And a lot of it will also go to thicken that wonderful juice. Now, all you do now is take your bowl and spoon it in there. Now, you can have it just like it is, or you can put vanilla ice cream on top, or back in the old days, if they had a milk cow, they would do fresh cream. But it is supposed to look like that. That one is Junior's. And let me tell you, it's liquid lava, so be very careful. You do not want to get it on you. And like I said earlier, this recipe was first documented in 1835. And the recipe that it came from, the lady did not like big dumplings. She liked little bitty fine dumplings. And there we go. I'm going to let it cool down some, and I'm going to give it a taste. I already know how good it is. I'll bring y'all right back. Now that it has finally cooled down, I like mine cold or hot. But right out of the pot, it's going to burn you up. Look at that homemade goodness. Paying homage to my ancestors. Mmm. Oh, that is so good. It's not overly sweet at all. Mm. Oh my God, that's good, y'all. Oh, if I had some vanilla ice cream or even just some good sweet cream over top. Delicious, easy. Anybody can make this. Now, like I said, this recipe goes back to 1835. This is the original recipe. I changed it a little bit by adding the the grapes I cut in half because I needed to use them up. The lady did not like big dumplings. She liked the little bitty pieces of dumplings. Now, you can make this recipe using your own dumpling recipe if you like the big dumplings. And as you notice, it thickens up by itself because of the little bit of flour left on the dumplings. I would love to have seen a picture with of the lady, the Cherokee lady. This was her recipe. I'd love to know. It didn't say her name, just said it was somebody was passing through and they wrote the recipe down. So unfortunately, I don't know who this belongs to, but I am thankful for her. And it was the first recorded written recipe of Cherokee Grape Dumplings. Now, back before wheat came to the side of the big water, they used either cornmeal or acorn flour to make the dumplings. Either or, it's going to be delicious. Simple, easy, homemade, keeping the old ways alive, keeping Native American history alive. Because, yeah, we're swept under the rug, and yes, we're still alive, even though a lot of people think we aren't. I still don't understand those people, but that's beside the point. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Now, throughout the month of November, it's either going to be Native American cooking, Native American history, or Native American herbalism and customs and traditions and so on. Because by dog, I am going to celebrate. I celebrate every day, not just the month of November, but I'm going to get the word out that November is Native American History Month. And yes, my ancestors and yours should be celebrated. And above all else, the truth should be taught and not kept under lock and key. Everyone, take care. Continue to stock your pantry with foods that will nourish and sustain you. You got wild grapes, muscadines, or you just happen to catch grapes on sale at the store or grape juice on sale, get it, stock it back. That way you can make this whenever you want to. Continue to stock up on medicine that will heal you, protection of all kinds, and above all else, the bare essentials to survive on. Everyone, take care. Love y'all dearly. Hoot hoot. I'll see you soon.